Contract workers have been under attack since about 2011, and the driver for this is very straightforward. You're all aware of the fact that if you're large enough, you hit the Obamacare minimum, which is 50 employees. So if you have at least 50 employees, you have to offer some form of health care, or you have to pay a penalty. And so what happened is a lot of small businesses, use contract labor. Well, the feds are not stupid. They've figured this out, and they said, well, one way to get you up to 50 is to push your contract laborers into employees, and then if they're employees, we might bump a few more of you up to 50 employees. So please be careful about your contract labor. There are simple things like you hire your accountants and lawyers and people like that to consult with your business, your insurance agent. Easy. These are all independent contractors. You have someone who's independent specialist, has all their own tech gear, and they come out and work special projects for you. Probably pretty simple. But if you have some people that work for you a lot and you've been calling them contractors, please be careful about that, because you can get into some costly exposure. I'll mention that on another slide here. But the fiduciary rules, some of you have a 401k plan, and there are some new rules that have been floating around on the 401k plans. Basically did not directly impact employers, but what it did is it impacted the advisors that work through your 401k contract to help your employees. And the feeling is that these advisors were looking out for themselves and not looking out for your employees. That's probably true, by the way, but it's not life or death, and it's not the end of the earth. So what happened is that this, similar to the proposal to bump up the exempt minimum wage, went away also fairly recently. Actually, since I wrote these slides, it's been declared dead as just unworkable. So the financial services industry was bunkering in. There was a lot of disruption there. So at the moment, that's quiet. However, I do want to quickly say, it's not our topic today, please be careful about your 401k administration. Work with pros, get information. If you have not done an audit or an update on your 401k in 3 years is the benchmark that most of us use, please get somebody in there to do an independent audit and make recommendations as to whether you should stay with your vendor, provide more options for your employees and stuff like that. So that's all I'm going to say about 401ks, but I want you to think about that also. State and local action, largely driven by unions. Unions, it's no secret in America, are below 10% in the private sector. It's almost all in a few critical industries: transportation, airlines, oil refineries, where I am in Houston, Texas, are heavily unionized. The rest of the private sector is basically non-union today, and the unions are desperate. The unions, their only real stronghold is in the public sector, which is why the public sector employees are getting such extensive benefits and pay at the expense of all the non-union people. But in any event, the unions are still using their power and lobbying force, and they're driving some of these local minimum wages to, a lot of that has come out of these local union drives. Again, they can't get the people to do this, but they'll do something else. So it's still going on. Family Medical Leave Act at the federal level, again, the cutoff is 50 employees. So if you have 50 employees, you need to be concerned about it, and there's some special rules on that. But what I'm concerned about, and I want to highlight for you today quickly, is many states are implementing these required paid sick leave deals, which have nothing to do with the Family Medical Leave Act, and oftentimes apply to as little as 2 employees. So please be careful about your state and local rules, because it is definitely going to be more challenging out there as we move from different locations.